So we're back. We're back with Chef Tynella Hall. We're going to continue to talk about hemp, and hemp is a. It's not new, as she said, but it's something that she's shedding light on to make everybody understand the hemp concept, the line of food products that you can utilize. Not even just food products. There's beauty products that have hemp in it now that helps relax the body. So there's a lot of aspects to this hemp that people are not knowledgeable of that Chef Ty is going to bring to the forefront. I mean, she has a hot sauce line. She has pasta, marinara sauce. There's so many products, and just recently I was laughing with her because she made some cupcakes, and I was like, oh my goodness, they look so good. But I was like, and I asked her, I said, will it pass a drug test? And also the tea also. I was like, hey, will it pass a drug test? Because, people need to know that because, people have careers and you don't want to get them caught into the fact that they go take a drug test and next thing you know, oh my goodness, this employee is smoking marijuana when actually she's not smoking marijuana. She's actually eating something that's healing him or her body, so, being knowledgeable about the hemp. So we're going to go back to that question. Tell us a little bit more about the hemp products.
So hemp is outsourced. So you have it's not outsourced. It's grown locally. You probably walked past it a couple times and didn't even realize what you were walking past. The product or the byproduct of hemp that I use, besides the flour and the oil, is CBD. So CBD is something that right now the government is trying to figure out if they can make money off of it. So they're trying to figure out if they should regulate it or if they should just do like they did with alcohol, and until they could put tax on it, then it's illegal. As of right now and where we stand, CBD is 100% legal in all 50 states. Now, the thing that's going to get people is when you have something that's up and coming, everyone wants to make money off of it. So what I tell people to do when they ask me is do your research. Research the company you're going after. Make sure that when they sell you something that they can produce paperwork. Because the thing about what I do and the CBD oils and the hemp products that I use, I get it from a farm, so it's certified, it's organic, and it's mandated by the USDA. So when I put my label out there, it'll have the little I want to say it's a QC scanner, and you can use your phone to scan it, and it will actually bring up our paperwork. So it will tell you the farm I got it from, the date it was harvested, and it will give you, again, what people are looking for is paperwork or a paper trail to show you that I'm not just putting something in my kitchen together and trying to sell it to you for a profit.
Exactly.
Because that's where this is going to right now. You'll have so many companies that you've never heard of. They're going to try to pop up on the scene, make a couple $100,000, and then they're going to disappear. So what I tell anybody is just make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you do your research. Because what you need to do with CBD or some of the known benefits of it is used for chronic pain management. It's just like melatonin, so it helps aid with your sleep. For someone who is like your PTSD or any form of depression, it helps them. It regulates your stress by just making everything calm.
Oh, wow.
It arrests cancerous growth, so it attaches itself to it. It does not get rid of cancer. I'm not saying that, but it will kind of slow down the process because your body actually recognizes it and knows that it's supposed to be in there. It helps and aids with irritable bowel syndrome. I've told you before with epilepsy and seizures. And it does have some anti-inflammatory properties. So if you're a person who likes tea, and turmeric is amazing for anti-inflammatory, you put your turmeric in your tea, and then you would take a couple drops of CBD oil, add that to your tea.
Awesome.
Perfect. You can use it with like almond milk, turmeric, a little bit of fresh ginger, and a nice like a chamomile tea. Bring that all up warm and put about 5 drops of CBD oil in there, and you will feel good that day.
And see, that's a good recipe for your own. Like you said, you'll feel good, you'll be relaxed, you'll be calm, and the recipe will allow you to, if you have inflammation, like you said, turmeric is really, really good for inflammation, but at the same time, you'll have that relaxing feeling, having something warm go through your body. And a lot of people don't know these things, and this is why we're trying to make sure that people understand the science of this and understand where it can take you. And it is not, like you said, it's not about getting high. It's about having a relaxing, calming experience.
It puts you, and I'll be very honest. So I did a whole thing on Facebook Live on just how the tea actually makes you feel. I didn't get back on there. When I say it relaxes you, it doesn't relax you to the point where you don't care if somebody was to come in your house, but it gives you a sense of peace. And because we are so fast-paced, because we do something and we're always looking for the next thing or always on edge about someone coming in, the peace that you feel is so foreign that you just sit there for a minute and you're like, wait, is this how life is supposed to be? Because I can deal with this. Like, it's that calming. CBD oil, it comes from the cannabis sativa plant. So sativa is one of the strains in which when you're going for marijuana, it's the one that is, it kind of gives you the calm effect, not the high effect.
Gotcha.
So CBD oil comes off of the sativa plant. Unlike THC, though, CBD is not psychoactive, so it doesn't hit those sensors that make you feel high. It calms you. CBD can help in your overall health because it is one of the less than 100 phytocannabinoids. So inside that plant, there's so many things that you can do with it, but the CBD, it stimulates your genes and your proteins. It boosts the activity of your mitochondria, which, if you know anything about like burning fat, you want those to be moving, because as those move, it gets you to move, and then it'll help flush out the toxins in your body.
So it's almost like a dietary supplement.
It can be, but there's not been enough studies for one to, this is the new lose weight. It does aid in digestive health, though, because it's a natural source. It's just like probiotics. Your body is looking for it, so therefore it will use it to naturally digest your food. But I will not, be on air or anywhere else and say that this is the new fat burning anything. But it does help.
Exactly. I understand what you're saying fully. I understand that. Make sure that, we're saying the right things to people out here when it comes to food and food science and the things that they can assist your body with. There are some naturally known things that, can reduce a lot of the high blood pressure, the diabetes, things that Dr. Sebi even talked about in his journaling. So there's a lot of things that we understand that naturally can help us. So I thank you very much for that insight on hemp. Another question I have for you is, what has been the biggest challenge in being a female chef of color?
Oh, well, when I've dealt with corporate America, it was being a female in the kitchen. It didn't even matter what color I was in the beginning. It was just being a female and being able to show the guys that I could do just as much as they can, if not better. Because even you have stated it, men cook with their egos, so it's always a pissing contest with them. Like, who can piss the furthest, who can stand up, who can sit down, who can. And whereas females, we get in there, and because we're natural caregivers, because we're natural nurturers, we just want you to like the food and it tastes good. We want you to get the same feeling that you get when you go to your grandma's house or your auntie house or whichever cousin it was in the family that could cook and everybody wanted to be there. That's what we go for. That's what we try to recreate. Whereas with guys, as good as they are, they have an ego complex. So in the beginning, it was just proving that I could hold my own with them. And then I finally came across somebody who actually saw the fact that I was black, and I was like, dude, you go get a tan like twice a week. We're about the same color. Are you serious? Like,
the old boys club.
You know, it was like, bro, like, I get this on the natural. Like, I was born with this. You're paying for it. So, I mean, which one of us is the ignorant one right now? Like, seriously. And then I had to show him better than I could tell him any words out of my mouth that not only did I belong here, but I wasn't going anywhere. And he ended up having to come back and, you know, eat his words.
And that's awesome that you can actually can relay that in words, because a lot of us, we get so fearful of speaking out about our situations in the corporate world. So you being able to recognize what was going on and say something about it, that's awesome. That's truly awesome.
That came from being in the military first, because that's actually where I got some of my biggest backlash of being a person of color, being a female, because I was in a man's army. And how dare I? And when you have been on the front line, when you have seen stuff that the average person should never see unless they're watching it in a movie, you start to realize that, you know what, there's not really much you can say to me that I'm not going to stand up for myself about. When you have, because of your past and where you've grown up, had a gun put to your face, you start to realize that, you know what, there's not much you can do to me. When you realize that you are one of God's children and you're his chosen child, you start to carry it in a different way. You start to realize that while he said no weapon formed against you shall prosper, he never said that the weapon wouldn't form. It's just that it would never prosper against you. So you continue to use the words from your past or your grandparents or your ancestors, and you hold on to it. And then as you go through life, you are then afforded certain tests that you pass, so that now you have your own testimony, and then you use that in your life to show people through your actions that, you know what, I earned my right to be at this table. That's why I went back and got not 1 degree, but I have 5. I can still be a practicing nurse because my license doesn't expire until 2024, because I continue to keep it up to date. What separates me from most people is that I recognize that my gifting and my talent is that of a servant. And some people don't look at what we do as chefs as being servants. They do it for money. They do it for show. They do it to be seen. That's not my intention.
That quote-unquote celebrity chef.
Exactly. I do it because this is something that truly brings me peace by letting me be creative with different things. I love going somewhere and picking up strange things off the shelf and taking it home to create a dish. That's my comfort. I served this country from the age, I went in the military at 17. I turned 18 in basic training, away from my family and everything. So I started off my life as a servant. Then I continued to serve as a nurse. And now even through preparing food, I'm still serving people. And I think once I finally realized what my real gifting was, doors started to open. People such as yourself started to come into my life, and things started to fall in place.
And that's what it's all about. So we're going to take a quick break again, and then when we come back, we're going to end this with a great story and finish talking to Chef Ty. Thank you for listening. Once again, Brown Girls Can Cook is going to be a phenomenal. It's also going to be a documentary reflecting on all the female black chefs that we have came across through the National Black Chef Association. We'll be right back.